Kazam here from Connect the Doc. I'm just going to do a quick video tutorial of some of the new features that we've developed and launched to the site now. Today's date is January 12th. Alrighty, so first things first, you get to connectthedoc.com and you've signed in, and first thing we're going to do is go to our dashboard. Just like always, we've got today's appointments, future appointments, but you'll see something new here. You've got requested appointments. That's because we've added a new appointment request feature. Before we get there, though, we're going to go through some of the new changes in the account settings. So right off the bat, when you click account settings, you'll see this new feature here called Add Custom Healthcare Fields and Services. So if you have a healthcare clinic, or if your clinic offers services that we don't offer on Connect the Doc, then you can click on here and you can add, like new healthcare field and specific services that that go with these fields, and change their their appointment links and whatnot. So let's click save there, and you can do that, and that new field and service is now part of your account. If this option is not in your account, that means that you're not subscribed to that specific feature, or we have not yet moved your account to include that feature. So if you want that, definitely let us know, and we can add it to your account. So that's one of the main new features that we've added. Another thing you'll notice is if you go to the Edit Doc Medical Fields and Treatments, those new fields that we just created, they show up there. But you'll also see these little gray boxes for Make Default. So what that is if you, let's say we change that to 15-minute as our default. What that is when you go to the specific practitioner's profile. So if we look at my profile, which has gotten a makeover here, you'll notice that we've added these booking widgets to the actual profile, and this custom field here, this marketing consultation 15-minute marketing meeting, that was the default treatment that we had just set. So that will be the custom field that shows up here, and also on the widget. So the widget is something that everybody who has the Book Now button on their website, or is subscribed to that feature, they get that. And what that is if you go down here to codes for websites, you'll see that you have your same Book Now button like you've always had before, but you'll also have all of the different practitioners that work at your clinic, and their little widgets here. And it's a booking widget that you can place on your website. So what you got to do is you just have to go here to show code, and you just copy and paste that onto your website here, and we'll quickly do that right now. So if we go to physio1.inkymedia.ca, so this is just a sample website that we've created here for testing and for doing the demo and whatnot. Here, let's just go to, so we're just gonna log in here. Let's hope that works. So what you'll notice is if we, let's go to, let's just view the site here and go to edit page, and that's our home page right there. So this is kind of most of the clinics that we work with, they have a WordPress website, but you can see all the different code here. So we want to make sure that we're in the text component, or the HTML, and go to the bottom. And this is an old code that we had there, but if we paste this new code that we have, and you click update, what you'll notice is when you actually view the page, you'll see that booking widget shows up there. So we've got this new code. Now notice how the height here is a little bit off, and you need to scroll down ever so slightly. We can adjust that here. If you go back into this edit page, we might want to just go in here and say, instead of the height equaling 500, to say like the height equals 600, and that should just go away. We'll make that small fix in the future. But I mean, it's pretty easy to do here. So if we do that now, that widget's there. So that's how the widget works. Now it's good to know that this is coming from the clinic profile. If we sign out and we go to the doctor's profile, So every doc, as you guys know, have their own accounts too that they can log into. So if we go into here and we go to account settings, code for websites, we have a very similar code from here, but instead of having a picture of the practitioner, it has a picture of the clinic on the map. And if you're attached to multiple clinics, then there will be multiple widgets there. So that kind of covers the appointment widgets portion. We're going to log out of here and go to back into the clinic account. This is our fake clinic account right here. Alright, so let me just look at our list here. So we've covered the custom fields and treatments. We've got the booking widget taken care of. Some of the other settings that we need to look into are that are in here. So we've got the clinic working hours. So you just want to mention, what time the clinic opens at, what time it closes at, and that way in your calendar you'll be able to release times during the the start time and the end time. The default treatment here, so that's something that you're going to want to select in this area, because when you go to a clinic profile, when people come to your account somehow, your profile, they're going to see all of your practitioners, and with that default service, the availabilities and the practitioners that do that specific service. So if you're primarily a chiropractic clinic, maybe you have 5 chiropractors on site, and maybe 1 massage therapist if if it's an integrated health clinic or whatnot. So all 5 of them will 4 of the chiropractors will show up, and then that 1 massage therapist in this example would it would say please select a service that person offers, and you would see all the different fields, both the custom fields that you've created and the ones that you're already subscribed to on Connect the Docs. So that is an example of the default treatment. Now we have booking settings. That's always been there. Appointment requests is what we're going to get into next, after we talk about the custom interval gaps here. So right now everybody's been working off of a 15-minute gap. What we want to make sure of is that the clinics that offer their services on a 20-minute interval or a 10-minute interval, they can also take advantage of our service without having to do too much manual labor here. So let's say you're a clinic and you offer services every 20 minutes at 9 o'clock, 9:20, 9:40. You would just simply say that your interval is a 20-minute gap. And when you do that, when you go to your scheduling calendar, you'll notice that when you click down and you want to release a real appointment, you're going to find that the gaps here are 20, 40. That's what the interval is. So when you have appointment requests enabled, which is the other feature that we just pushed to the live site. Right now, that is not enabled for anyone. You have to manually enable it by going into your account settings here. But when you have that as enabled, things change up a little bit on your scheduler. So in the past, we were used to just clicking down and then seeing a box where you could release an appointment. The other way some of the clinics did it was they just took a name and they just dragged the name into a specific area that they were releasing, and then they kind of like played around with the different times and the size of the box there, the amount of time that's available. So now what happens when you release an appointment using the clicking method is you can actually select real appointments, which are the ones that you've always been releasing. So let's do that right now, and let's say it's open from 10:20 to 11:20. So one of the cool new features that we've added as well is we're able to select specific treatments that can be booked during this time. So if you only want new patients to be able to book an appointment, you could like deselect them all and then say like, just new patients. Or in this case, let's say I only want 30-minute consultations to be booked during this time. So that will only be available and show up in the search results. So that's 10:20 on the 17th. If we go to view profile, and we said the 30 minutes, so you'll see that 10:20 on the 17th is there. but if we go down to that, it disappears. So that's a really cool new feature. But for the appointment requests, so this is for the clinics, or for people who they don't necessarily want the appointments to be real appointments. They want to be able to confirm a specific time just in case somebody else has phoned in. We don't recommend it. We want to make sure that they're all real appointments, and we want to have as many like live appointments available. But if you do want that extra level of protection, or you want the patient to be able to select multiple times to request, this is a good option. So the way that this works is you can point and click down before, but it's not available now. It's available for requests. And then what it says is it allows you to release multiple practitioners that you're having other prospective patients request an appointment for. So if you click down, let's say from 11 o'clock to 12:20, let's say that's the requested amount of time. The other cool thing that you can do is you can repeat this appointment here. And generally what this will do is, like, let's say you want to just have appointments showing up online, and where people can request them anytime for the next year. Well, you can actually say, like, on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, from today to mid-April to the end of April. I want them to be able to request, and so it's going to create a schedule of requested appointments. And if there's any appointments that have been booked or that are already released in the future, it just won't create a time on the scheduler. So notice here that we have a bunch of appointments that are available for requests here. So one of the strategies that we think would be really clever is if you, as a clinic, you guys released a bunch of appointments that were real, like you normally do for 10 days in the future. And then for after that, you can set up a request schedule. And then when you get to them, you can just delete a specific appointment. So when you click delete, you can choose whether to delete the entire series or just the one individual appointment, and you'll notice that that just deletes the one. So that's how the appointment request works from a releasing the request point of view. But what you can do from the patient side of view is pretty cool. So we're going to log out here, and we're going to pretend like we're a patient. On the search results here, let's just use chiropractic as an example for a new patient assessment in Vancouver. You'll notice that there are real appointments and appointments available for requests. Now, because none of you guys have appointment requests released, they're not going to show up here. But if you were to go back to our Connect the Doc account, because I had released some there, we can go in and request an appointment here. So let's request this 11 a.m. appointment. So we're about to, we're going to make this request, and one of the things that we've done is, instead of only being able to request one specific time, we've allowed the patient to upload up to 5 more times that work for them. And it also, if you notice, will take the amount of time. It factors in your intervals, so and your office hours there. So let's say we're going to upload 3 additional times. So let's say they can come in on the 14th at 10 a.m. Oh, we've already got 10 a.m., so let's do another one at 1 p.m. So we add these different times, and then we go through the same process that a patient does with the cell phone verification, so that we know that they're a real patient with a real phone number. Let me go grab my phone. So we're going to get our, here are the times. Let's make sure that we get our 4-digit code. So the code that I just received, the number was 5072, and you didn't hear it because my phone is on silent, so just to let you guys know about that. So we've submitted that now, and our request has been sent. So if we sign out of here, and when the request is sent, the clinic gets an email and the patient gets an email, and once those load onto my my computer here, I'll quickly drag the email over. Give me 1 second. So this is the email that gets sent over to. Oop, where did that go? That gets sent over to the patient. So it says the initial time that was requested and the additional times that that they wanted, but it also says has not been confirmed. Do not attend the appointment until you receive confirmation email. And then the clinic receives their email as well, and that is with the details of the original appointment and the additional appointment requests showing up underneath. But so once you got that appointment, what you want to do is you can either click accept from the email, where it will accept the first and the main appointment request, or you can log into your account here, and I'll come back to here with our account, and you'll see that in this requested appointment slot, it has the primary request at 11 a.m. And then it shows all the additional appointment times that that they have suggested. And in the scheduler, you'll notice that this time here, 11 a.m., is it's blocked off now, so nobody else can to book that. So you've got this orange lock around there, and you can accept or reject it from here. Or what you can do is you can go back to your dashboard, and let's say none of these times work for you, right? Let's say, I mean, you've made these requests available specifically so you can generate that lead if a new patient is interested in you've got their phone number, you've got their contact information. But let's say none of these times work for you. You guys have got the lead, so that's fantastic. But you give them a call and you phone them in. Let's say you're able to schedule them in at a different time. So what you're going to do is you're going to click let's probably do it from the main one here. Let's say they schedule it internally with either you or a different practitioner, but let's just hypothetically say it's with you. So what you can do is you can say, okay, well they actually were able to schedule it in, and they came in at 9 a.m. So that appointment now goes, and it shows up here in your appointment request as a real appointment. So here, that 9 a.m. is now a real booked appointment, just like every other appointment that gets booked. And the reason why we do it this way is so that after the patient has attended their appointment, your clinic can now go into the history tab, and you can update the history as attended. And when you do that, they obviously get the email, and the feedback goes onto your profile if you wanted to. So it's a really good way to just build up the number of reviews that you get, to boost your results on ConnectDoc, and to get more leads from patients, because sometimes they don't necessarily want to book a real appointment, and there's a specific time. So anytime you're able to accommodate those specific orders, that's really good for patient retention and for just the general appearance of the clinics. So we've got the appointment request taken care of. You know exactly how that works. If you do have any questions about that, definitely give Nash or myself a call. Our 1-800 support number is 1-800-910-1120, and we'd be happy to help. My personal cell phone, if you guys need to get in touch with me right off the bat, it's 778-882-6663. So I'm just going to run down my list of different topics to make sure we covered everything. So we got the hours of operations, we've got the default treatments, we've got the interval gaps. We talked about that. The medical fields and treatments here, we've gone through that, where you can create custom treatments here. Also, when you're in your Edit Clinic medical fields, you can also add services to healthcare fields that we already have. So let's say we're physiotherapists and we want to do something different. You can add your own different field here, and just click add, and that will show up now on your profile as well. So we've got that. We talked about the specific treatments during specific times. So where you have, let's say, you click down here, and only the 30-minute consultation applies. So we've got that taken care of. We've covered that as well. Appointment requests we've got. And then that pretty much covers it. The biggest suggestion I have for everybody, just to make sure that they're always maximizing their return on investment, is just to make sure that you do your best to get the Book Now button on your own website. Um, Using these codes here, it really, really helps. We've got clients who have gotten so many more patients just because they've offered online bookings. And when you start adding the widget to your account, and to your website, sorry, we really do think that you're going to do a much better job getting new patients and converting. And we also would encourage you to convince and include your existing patients in the mix and try to get them um, to book their appointments online, so that the receptionist is saving time, not having to call a bunch of people back. And everything is coming online, so we're doing our best to make sure that it's possible for you. And once again, we'd like to thank you for all of your feedback. Without your support and without your feedback, we'd never be able to come up with some of these ideas. And so really, we do appreciate your ongoing support and your time. And we hope these features will help you get lots of new business. If you do have any questions, please feel free to contact myself, Nadim, or our other co-founder, Nash. And again, our number is 1-800-910-1120. Or you can just email us at info@connectthedoc.com. And thank you so much.